Welcome back to our channel, fellow Port Charles residents. Today is a beautifully dramatic day, and we're so glad you decided to spend a little piece of it with us. Grab a coffee, or maybe something stronger because we have a lot of heavy emotional things to unpack today. Let's get right into it. I cannot even believe what I am reading tonight. Seriously. My hands are literally shaking as I type this because my emotions are absolutely all over the place. I just finished scrolling through the latest rumors and reading the newest updates, and I am in a glass case of emotion. I mean, we all knew this was coming, right? We all knew it deep down in our guts. But seeing it actually start to play out on screen, seeing the hints dropping like anvils, it is just hitting me so much harder than I ever expected it to. I am sitting here at 2 in the morning staring at my screen, and I just need to vent to people who actually understand what this means. Am I the only one who is completely dreading this while simultaneously knowing it has to happen? And yes, I am talking about Robert Scorpio. I am talking about the absolute legend, the icon, the man who practically defined the golden era of this show. The rumor mill is on fire right now saying that Robert is going to die protecting Anna Devane. Just let that sink in for a second. Robert dies protecting Anna. I don't know whether to scream at the writers or send them a bouquet of flowers because honestly, it is the most beautiful, devastating, poetic, and excruciatingly painful way for him to go out. But I am just not ready. I am so not ready to say goodbye to him on screen. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take a step back and look at the real-life tragedy that is forcing this storyline. As we all know, the incredible, incomparable Tristan Rogers passed away on August 15th, 2025. It has been almost a whole year. A year. And for this entire time, Tristan's Robert Scorpio has remained alive in the world of Port Charles. We have been living in this weird suspended reality where we know the actor is gone, but the character is still out there somewhere, just off-screen living his life. I know some fans have been super frustrated with how long it's taken the show to address it. I've seen the forum posts. I know people are like, why are they dragging this out? But honestly, I get it. I totally get it. How do you even begin to write an ending for a character of that magnitude? You can't just have him die off screen of a heart attack. You can't just have him move away to Australia permanently. It has to mean something. It has to be epic. So now the people of Port Charles are finally going to have to say goodbye to Robert, and the rumors are hinting that the time is near. And of course, because this is General Hospital, and because the universe has a sick sense of irony, it all comes back to Cesar Faison. Of course it does. Who else could it possibly be? Even from beyond the grave, the absolute monster is still ruining lives. Faison's final project has already plagued so many lives in Port Charles recently. We've seen the chaos. We've seen the absolute wreckage he left behind. And now, it looks like the ultimate casualty of Faison's posthumous revenge is going to be Robert himself. Can we just talk about Cesar Faison for a minute? Because I feel like newer viewers might not fully grasp the sheer magnitude of this man's psychotic obsession. I've been watching the show for years, decades even, and I have never seen a villain quite like Faison. His fixation on Anna Devane was not love. Let's get that straight right now. Some people try to romanticize it and it makes me sick. It wasn't flattering, it wasn't caring. It wasn't kind. And it certainly wasn't out of admiration. It was predatory. It was obsessive. And it was most definitely undeniably creepy to the highest degree. The man was a walking nightmare who disguised his madness as some sort of tragic romance. Faison couldn't stand the fact that Anna loved Robert Scorpio. He just couldn't process it. In his twisted, sick mind, Anna belonged to him. And because Robert was the man who actually had Anna's heart, Robert became Faison's ultimate enemy. The love triangle involving Anna Devane has always been Cesar's driving force. It dictated every single evil thing he did. He spent decades, literally decades, torturing Robert and Anna. It wasn't just a rivalry. It was a crusade to completely destroy Robert's life so that Faison could step over his corpse and claim Anna as his prize. Remember when he blew up their boat? I am still traumatized by that storyline. I remember watching that back in the day and just sobbing at my television. He made multiple attempts to kill Robert over the years. Multiple. The man was like a cockroach. You just couldn't get rid of him. And he just kept coming back with more elaborate theatrical ways to inflict pain. And it wasn't just Robert and Anna. He went after their family. He kidnapped Robin Scorpio. He kidnapped a child just to mess with them. That is the level of depravity we are dealing with when we talk about Cesar Faison. And do not even get me started on the time he wore a Duke Lavery mask to trick Anna. The psychological torture that man inflicted on these people is immeasurable. Anna Devane was always the main character in Cesar Faison's theatrical and dramatic life. She was the sun around which his dark, twisted universe revolved. And some things never change, do they? Because here we are years after Faison's supposed death, and Anna is the focal point of his theatrics yet again. This time it's from beyond the grave. Or so it's assumed. Honestly, with this show, I wouldn't put it past them to have Faison's brain in a jar somewhere, pulling the strings. But assuming he's actually dead, this final project of his is his magnum opus of misery. It is his last laugh from hell. And that brings us to the current situation. We know Anna is in a bad way right now. The storyline with her captivity, the makeshift weapon she left behind that Jocelyn just found at Windermere, it all points to Anna being dragged through hell once again. Faison's machinations are still at work tearing through the lives of the people we love. And if Anna is in danger from Faison's final project, who is the one person who would drop absolutely everything, risk life and limb, and walk through fire to save her Robert. Freaking Scorpio. That is why this rumor that Robert dies protecting Anna makes so much sense. And why it hurts so incredibly much. Because of course he would. He wouldn't even think twice. If it came down to a bullet meant for Anna, Robert would step in front of it before the trigger was even fully pulled. It is the core of who he is. He is a protector. He is a hero. And his love for Anna, despite all their ups and downs, despite the divorces and the distance and the other relationships, has always been a fundamental truth of the universe. They are soulmates in the truest, most chaotic sense of the word. I am just trying to picture the scene in my head and I am already crying. Like, actually tearing up, sitting here in the dark, typing this. Imagine the setup. Faison's final trap is sprung. Anna is cornered. The threat is imminent. She thinks it is the end. And out of nowhere, Robert arrives. He takes the hit. He saves the love of his life, his partner in crime, his greatest adventure. And as he is dying in her arms, oh my God, I can't. I literally cannot. The dialogue is going to destroy me. If they play a montage of their classic ADS moments, I am going to need to take a week off work to recover. I am going to need a support group. But at the same time, I kind of hate it. Is that weird? I am contradicting myself. I know a minute ago I said it was poetic. But part of me is just so angry that Faison gets the final win. I mean, think about it. If Robert dies because of Faison's final project, doesn't that mean Faison ultimately succeeded? He finally managed to take Robert out of the equation. He finally managed to inflict the ultimate pain on Anna. It feels like a posthumous victory for the bad guy. And that really, really rubs me the wrong way. I want Robert to go out on his own terms, not as a casualty of some dead creep's lingering obsession. I want him to retire to a beach somewhere, not bleed out on the docks because of a ghost vendetta. Wait, no. Let me rethink that. Because if Robert dies protecting Anna, he is actively defeating Faison's goal. Faison's goal was always to possess Anna or destroy her if he couldn't have her. By saving her, Robert proves that love is stronger than Faison's hate. Robert's sacrifice ensures that Anna survives, that she lives on, surrounded by the family, and the love that Faison could never understand or attain. So, maybe it isn't a win for Faison. Maybe it is the ultimate middle finger to Faison. You can kill me, but you can't have her and you can't break us. Yeah. Okay, I am back on board with this theory. See, this is what this show does to me. I am an absolute mess trying to process this. I know some people are loving this idea because it brings closure. I've seen the comments on Twitter and the message boards. People are saying it's about time they honored Tristan, and this is the respect the character deserves. And I agree with that. I really do. Tristan Rogers gave his heart and soul to this show. He built a legacy that will never be matched. The suave leather jacket wearing, wisecracking WSB agent who could break your heart with a single look. He deserves an exit that shakes the very foundations of Port Charles. It shouldn't be quiet. It should be a massive, earth-shattering event that brings every single legacy character to their knees in mourning. Speaking of which, how is Robin going to handle this? How is Mac going to handle this? Mac just got his life back together, and now he's going to lose his brother, the brother he idolized. The grief is going to be astronomical. I am begging the writers, please, please, please give us the fallout. Don't just have him die and move on to the next mob storyline. We need to see Mac breaking down. We need to see Robin returning to Port Charles and giving a eulogy that rips our hearts out. We need to see Emma crying over her grandfather. We need to see Anna struggling to live in a world where Robert Scorpio doesn't exist anymore. The emotional aftermath needs to be just as profound as the death itself. Because the reality is, poor Charles without Robert Scorpio is going to feel incredibly empty. Even over the last year, just knowing he was around gave a sense of security. But once he is canonically gone, it is the end of an era. The golden age of the WSB spies, the globe-trotting adventures, the sheer romance of it all. It feels like it's officially closing its doors. And maybe that's why I am so emotional tonight. It's not just mourning the character. It's mourning a piece of my own history. I grew up watching these characters. They feel like family to me. Losing Robert feels like losing a piece of my childhood. And the fact that Faison's obsession is the catalyst for this final goodbye just makes it all the more Shakespearean. Faison and Scorpio were two sides of the same coin, locked in this endless, deadly dance for decades. It is only fitting that the echo of Faison's madness is what finally brings the curtain down on Robert's story. It is a full circle moment, even if it is a bitter pill to swallow. I am just dreading watching Anna's reaction. She has been through so much lately, and losing Robert might be the thing that finally breaks her completely. I just hope the show handles the execution perfectly. We need flashbacks, we need the classic theme music. We need Anna holding him, telling him she loves him one last time as the life fades from his eyes. If they rush this, or if they make it look cheap, I will riot. I swear to God. I will write so many angry letters. But if they do it right, if they give Tristan Rogers and Robert Scorpio the beautiful, heartbreaking, heroic send-off they deserve, it will go down as one of the greatest moments in daytime television history. It will be a masterclass in soap opera storytelling. So what do you guys think? Am I totally off base here? Are you ready for this storyline? Or are you dreading it as much as I am? Do you think Robert dying to protect Anna from Faison's final project is the right way to go? Or do you wish they would handle Tristan's passing differently? I need to hear your thoughts because I cannot carry this emotional burden alone. Hit the comments. Let's cry together and let's prepare ourselves for what is undoubtedly going to be the most difficult, emotionally draining week of episodes we have seen in a very, very long time.